So you might see those people on TikTok or Facebook or maybe even Instagram that's like, hey, I can sell this piece of paper right here, not even sell this house, and make just as much money as a real estate agent. Well, that is a wholesaler. So what is the difference between working with a wholesaler and working with a real estate agent? So whenever you work with a wholesaler, basically how that conversation is going to go is most likely you're going to get a phone call from someone who is not even in your state. And what they're going to do is they're going to give you a call. Let's say you only want to get $160,000 out of the property. Well, they're going to be like, hey, I can get you $160,000 out of this property. You sign this contract and I'll get that for you. So then what that wholesaler is going to do is they are going to find a local real estate agent who is willing to put that house that they just signed that contract for on the market for them as a flat rate listing fee. So what that is basically that wholesaler is going to give that agent a, couple $100. It could be $100, it could be $200, it can even be $300. And from there, basically what they're going to do is they're going to put that house on the MLS. So you're probably thinking to yourself, well, that sounds kind of like what a real estate agent would do. Well, it is, but it's not. So let's say that house goes under contract for $220,000. Well, you're gonna get your $160,000, but that is all you're gonna get. You're gonna get that $160,000, and that wholesaler is going to keep everything over $160,000 as they're going to put that in their pocket. As for a realtor, they might give you a call, whatnot, and you're gonna meet, sign all your paperwork, get that house on the market. So let's say that house, you want $160,000 out of that house, and we get you $220,000 for that house. So we're going to take anywhere from 6 to 3% from whatever that house sold for, and that is what we're going to take home. So let's do the math on that real quick. Working with a wholesaler, we said that property sold for $220,000. So we're going to do $220,000, and then we're going to minus that by $160,000. So therefore that wholesaler would be making $60,000. That wholesaler would be taking home $60,000 just to put in their pocket. That is what you would be technically paying that wholesaler to get that house going. Now let's do it for a real estate agent. So we're going to do 220 again, and then let's say we're going to do 6%, 3% for the buyer side, 3% for the seller side. So you would be paying $13,200 to two real estate agents. So that would be 3% for the buying side and 3% for the seller side. So for all you people out there that is like, I don't want to work with a real estate agent because they're going to charge me so much, but I'm gonna work with this wholesaler guy right here. It seems like a pretty good gig. Make sure you know what you are getting yourself into before working with that wholesaler. There's been situations before that people have worked with wholesalers, they have been in debt, and if they just would have worked with a real estate agent, they would have gotten completely out of debt. They could have paid everything off, but instead they worked with a wholesaler. Therefore, they made a little bit of money, but not enough to get them completely out of debt as if they were to work with a real estate agent. Another reason that you might want to work with a real estate agent over a wholesaler is simply because that real estate agent, most likely they're going to have common knowledge of the local market. They're most likely going to live around that area, if not in the same state. They have a pretty good idea of, okay, can go for this can go for that. I know this area decently well. Versus a wholesaler, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be across the country. You're only going to be communicating to them through phone, and they don't always know what they are doing all the time. Especially if it's a bankruptcy property or, it's something tricky about that property that it needs a special procedure to get done. A wholesaler is not always going to know about those processes as a realtor should. So if you learned some stuff today versus working with a wholesaler and working with a real estate agent, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Comment down below if you've ever had any experiences with wholesalers or a realtor and tell me how they went.